welcome to Live Interactive English. This is Nina.
And I'm Matt. And today we're looking at London, a tour through time, and today we're looking at day one.
Don't you mean a tour through time, day one?
A tour through time?
Yes. So that is the English accent,
well,
right?
I don't know if mine really was, but it was an attempt at an English accent.
Okay. So have you been to London, Matt?
Yeah, I've been to London, I think 3 times.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the last time was just last year, but I only had 1 day, so I just walked around the inner part of the city and saw the main sights to see.
Okay, do you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was great. I think it's a very cool city, has lots of neat little neighborhoods, and also has a lot of history there.
Yeah, that's true. I've actually lived there for about 1 year, and I have a lot of family there. But I do think it is quite expensive compared to Taiwan. I once spent £5 just on a card, like a birthday card for someone.
Okay.
And that's roughly 200 NTs, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, and aside from that, the weather's not so great. It's often cloudy and it's just gloomy, and the sun sets around 4 p.m. and it's just a little depressing for me. But I do think there's definitely a lot to do, and on a good day, you can do so much and have so much fun.
Wow, okay. And if you haven't noticed, Nina's been speaking in an English accent the whole time, and I'm very impressed because it sounds very natural.
Oh, thank you, darling. Okay. So let's learn a little bit more about London in this episode.
With its rich history and global fame, London needs no introduction. You can feel the past and present living side by side in its streets, where modern skyscrapers stand next to centuries-old treasures. Begin your trip with a visit to Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, which rise above the River Thames. These marvelous buildings are recognized around the world as a symbol of the UK itself and are well worth visiting for any tourist.
Hi there. Today we're looking at an article called London, a Tour Through Time. And today we're looking at day 1.
Okay, let's get into it. With its rich history and global fame, London needs no introduction. So global means about the whole world. So that means that London is actually known around the world. For example, many people learn English because it has become a global language. Yes, I think that English is probably the #1 language people will try to communicate in if they are in a different country, right? So people will try to learn English so that they can travel the world and speak to more people.
Right, it's definitely the most learned, I think, second language in the world. So a lot of people can speak English around the whole world. That makes it global.
Yes.
All right, well, we're talking about global fame. And fame is something that is a state of being known or talked about by lots of people. So London has a lot of fame. It has global fame, meaning world over fame. So it's known and talked about all over the entire world. So you could also say it's famous, and that would be the adjective form of the word.
Yes.
Continuing with the article, you can feel the past and present living side by side in its streets, where modern skyscrapers stand next to centuries-old treasures.
That's absolutely true. They do have like beautiful buildings there that has a lot of history, and it's worth going to see like the castles and things like that, right?
Yeah, that's one of the things I enjoyed about London last time I was there, was walking around through different parts of the city. In parts of the city you have, very old buildings, very interesting architecture. But then when you go to other parts of the city, it's very modern, shiny new buildings, and it's very cool to see.
Indeed. All right, let's go to Hanny for now.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 London: A Tour Through Time， 走访伦敦，穿梭时光之旅。课文一开始提到，伦敦凭借着它丰富的历史和全球盛名，早就不需要多做介绍了。在它的街头上，你可以感受到过去跟现在并存，可以看到现代摩天大楼跟数百年历史的建筑相邻而立。好，来看单字 global， 它是形容全球的、全世界的。Fame 则是名词，表示名望、声誉。那这边有一个重点是 feel 当感官动词可以表达感觉到什么什么。以下介绍两种句型。第一个，你可以用 feel 加受词加原形动词来表达强调事实或是过程。例如 I felt my body move to the music。我感觉到自己的身体随着音乐舞动。第二个句型，你可以用 feel 加受词加上现在分词 VING， 这时候是强调动作正在进行。例如 He felt something moving in the dark， 他感觉到黑暗中有东西正在动。好，那我们接回到课文中。
Continuing, begin your trip with a visit to Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, which rise above the River Thames.
Yeah, did you know that Big Ben is not actually the name of the building or the clock?
Oh, what is it of?
It's actually of the bell that sits inside the clock tower and that chimes that you can hear from all around that area.
That's so interesting to learn because everyone thinks that it's actually the clock, right?
Yeah, well, everyone now will just refer to that clock or that tower as Big Ben, and so that is what it's known as to most people around the world.
Yeah, it's a shame because when I lived there, Big Ben was under construction, so I didn't get to see it properly, but hopefully next time I will be.
Continuing with our article, these marvelous buildings are recognized around the world as a symbol of the UK itself and are well worth visiting for any tourist.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So marvelous is an adjective and it means very good, very wonderful. For example, the view from the tall building was marvelous.
Okay, let's go to Hanny.
课文建议我们可以从参观大笨钟和国会大厦来展开旅程。这些雄伟的建筑就位于泰晤士河畔，被视为英国的象征。那么绝对值得任何观光客来造访。单字 marvelous， 它是形容词，形容很棒的、令人惊叹的。在讲到大笨钟时 ，Matt 老师有用到 chime 这个字 ，chime chime， 它当名词可以表达钟声、铃声。那我们接回到课文中。
All right, we've learned a little bit about London and some of the things you can find there. So it is known around the world and has some sites that are also known around the world, and that's where you can start your tour of London.
Yes, and it has really old buildings that are rich with history. And on another side of London, you can also see some quite modern skyscrapers, right?
That's right. So we've got more to learn about London after this, so let's go to the second part and we'll be right back.
A short distance away stands Westminster Abbey. While many visit the church for its beauty, others come to see the final resting places of important British figures like Charles Dickens and Isaac Newton. Farther down the river is the Tower of London, which is known for its long and often dark history. Today, travelers come to enjoy the beauty of the crown jewels or join a tour that's led by a traditional beefeater guard. One unique feature is the group of black ravens which make the tower their home. Legend says that if they ever leave, the kingdom will fall.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about London, and now it's a city that's known all over the world, and that it has a lot of history and historic buildings standing right next to modern buildings.
Okay, continuing. A short distance away stands Westminster Abbey. Okay, so seems like there's a lot to do just in central London and around, right?
Yeah, this is actually a small area right next to the Thames where all of these buildings are located, and you can walk between them very easily.
Yes.
While many visit the church for its beauty, Others come to see the final resting places of important British figures like Charles Dickens and Isaac Newton. Okay, so they also have some graves, some places where people are buried, so that would be their final resting place.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to Hanny.
看完大笨钟和国会大厦，那么西敏寺就坐落在不远处。许多人是因为这座教堂很美丽而去参观，不过呢，也有人是去为了瞻仰一些重要英国人物他们的长眠之地。文中用到 final resting place， 也可以用 last resting place 来表达最后长眠之处。那么 figure 这个字在文中则是指人物，尤其是指有影响力或是知名的人士。另外，课文有一个句子，他说 A short distance away stands Westminster Abbey。西敏寺就坐落在不远处。那其中这个 a short distance away， 这是地方副词片语，后面接了动词 stands， 然后再接主词 Westminster Abbey。那我们这边要介绍这个用法，就是地方副词或地方副词片语的倒装。地方副词或地方副词片语摆在句首时，主词跟动词就必须倒装咯。句型就会是地方副词或地方副词片语加上动词，可能是一般动词或 be 动词，然后再加主词。举例来说， A vase filled with flowers sits on the table。 现在把地方副词片语 on the table 移到句首，然后主词跟动词经过倒装就变成On the table sits a vase filled with flowers。 桌上有个装满花朵的花瓶。好，注意，如果主词是代名词的话，就不用倒装了。像 Here he comes， 他来了。动词 comes 就是维持在主词 he 的后方，没有倒装。那接话课文中。
Continuing. Farther down the river is the Tower of London, which is known for its long and often dark history. Oh, okay, the Tower of London.
Yeah, I've been to the Tower of London
a
couple times. It's a long walk, but it's also very nice just to see lots of people going about their daily lives along the river there.
Yeah, and it's very beautiful.
Today, travelers come to enjoy the beauty of the crown jewels, or join a tour that's led by a traditional beefeater guard. Okay, so a traditional beefeater guard, well, that's something you might sort of think of when you think of British guards and the traditional uniform. So the beefeater guards were the traditional guards of the Tower of London, and they wear a very specific and sort of fancy uniform that would make them an interesting tour guide. All right, so these are things that a traveler might want to experience there, and a traveler is just someone who travels or has traveled somewhere. So we've just added ER to the verb travel to mean that it's someone who does that thing, like a worker works and a singer sings. Well, a traveler travels. Okay, we have an example sentence here. Millions of travelers visit Spain every year.
Okay, and we have the word traditional, which is from old customs or ways. So for example, Maya learned a traditional dance from her grandmother. Continuing, one unique feature is the group of black ravens which make the tower their home. Legend says that if they ever leave, the kingdom will fall. Okay, so I guess there's always black ravens there, right?
Yes, there are, because the kingdom has not fallen yet. So a kingdom is a country or land that is ruled by a monarchy, meaning a system that has a king or a queen who is in charge of that, and usually these are not voted in, they're not elected, they are, from a family line, you can become a king or a queen. So there is still a kingdom, the United Kingdom as it's called, the UK, as you might have heard, and London is in the United Kingdom. We have an example sentence. This city used to be the center of an ancient kingdom.
All right, now let's go to Hanny.
沿着泰晤士河再往下走，就是伦敦塔。它是以悠久而且经常带有黑暗色彩的历史而闻名。那如今游客会来这边欣赏 皇冠珠宝，或是参加由传统的伦敦塔卫士带领的导览。这个景点还有一个独特的特色，就是栖息在伦敦塔的渡鸦们。传说啊，如果这些渡鸦离开王国，就会灭亡了。好，我们补充一下文中的 crown jewels 是皇冠珠宝，也就是君主加冕时使用的饰品的统称，像是可能皇冠啊、权杖啊、主权之球、佩剑等等。还有用到 beefeater 这个名词，它是指伦敦塔的守卫者。好，课文单字 traveler 则是指旅人、旅客。traditional 是形容传统的。Kingdom 表示王国。那 Matt 老师在解释 kingdom 这个字时，有提到 monarchy 这个字。monarchy， 那这个字表示君主政体或者是君主制国家。那我们继续回到课文中。
Okay, we've learned about some places you can go when you are in London, and we've specifically talked about some of the older buildings, some of the old places, the historical places that you might want to go.
Yes, for example, the Tower of London and Westminster Abbey, and there's so many things to see just around that area.
We still have lots more to learn about London next time, so let's review this article again and we'll see you then.
Bye.
With its rich history and global fame, London needs no introduction. You can feel the past and present living side by side in its streets, where modern skyscrapers stand next to centuries-old treasures. Begin your trip with a visit to Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament, which rise above the River Thames. These marvelous buildings are recognized around the world as a symbol of the UK itself and are well worth visiting for any tourist. A short distance away stands Westminster Abbey. While many visit the church for its beauty, others come to see the final resting places of important British figures like Charles Dickens and Isaac Newton. Farther down the river is the Tower of London, which is known for its long and often dark history. Today, travelers come to enjoy the beauty of the crown jewels or join a tour that's led by a traditional beefeater guard. One unique feature is the group of black ravens which make the tower their home. Legend says that if they ever leave, the kingdom will fall.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 global 是形容词，形容全球的、全世界的。Marvelous 则是形容很棒的、令人惊叹的。Traveler 是名词，表示旅人、旅客。Traditional 是形容传统的。Kingdom 表示王国，是个名词。那文法的部分，我们第一个学到 feel 当感官动词，它表示感觉到点点点。我们有学到两种句型，一个是 feel 加受词加原形动词，这是强调事实或过程；还有学到 feel 加受词加现在分词 VING， 这是强调动作正在进行。第二个，我们学到了地方副词或地方副词片语的倒装。那它的句型是地方副词或地方副词片语加上动词，可能是一般动词或 be 动词，然后加主词。要是这个主词是代名词，就不用倒装咯。好，那以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
If you are a shopaholic or just like to do some casual shopping here and there, today's location might be right up your alley. We are going to explore an outlet shopping mall today known as the Mitsui Outlet Park Linkou. Let's see what they have to offer. Mitsui Outlet Park Linkou is located between Taipei and Taoyuan. You can get there by bus or take the airport MRT, so it's very convenient. The shopping center mixes features from both nature and the modern city. You can see large green areas with creative water elements. That's why it has earned the nickname Garden Mall. There are over 220 well-known local and international brands, which include boutique items, fashionable clothing and accessories, athletic goods, and everyday products. The shopping center also has a theater, a supermarket, a bookstore, and every kind of restaurant. The mall is divided into indoor and outdoor areas. The indoor shopping areas are spacious and bright. There are regular performances at the outdoor plaza. Mitsui Outlet Park Linkou is a shopper's paradise. Some shopping places can be jam-packed with people, but Mitsui Outlet Park Linkou is nice and spacious, which means that there's a lot of room to move around and not feel crammed. Even if you aren't in the mood to burn a hole in your pocket, it's still a great place to visit just to take a stroll or maybe do some window shopping. There's plenty to do and see there, so make sure to give Mitsui Outlet Park Linkou a visit.